One of the great scenes of high school sports and in southeast Nebraska turns the page on the 96th edition of this great tournament as Mudecas action flips the bracket from the girls' side to the boys' side. Hi, everybody. My name is Jake Bartecki. He's Andy Klassen, News Channel Nebraska. Proud to be back here at the Beatrice Municipal Auditorium for the boys' side of the bracket, Andy. And you look at the boys' B division, which we're about to see now, HTRS, Falls City Sacred Heart. One side of it, Falls City Sacred Heart, not used to totally being 4-6 below 500 come this time of the season. On the other side, for HTRS, they've taken some gigantic steps forward. 3-19 a year ago to being 8-4 and in the Mudecas finals.
Yeah, quite a turnaround, right? And they're really happy to be here. Also, Falls City Sacred Heart, you can say, yeah, they're under 500 a couple games, but they find themselves in the championship game once again at Mudecas. So, a few differences, but a lot of same old, same old.
Well, when you ask people who have been around this tournament for years and years, what's the best part about it? Andy, it's always family, and it's the traditions and the generations that keep coming back to play in this tournament. And that's on full display tonight. Jamie Stice, 24-year-old head coach for HTRS. He is the nephew of Falls City Sacred Heart coach Doug Goltz. And even more into that storyline, Jamie Stice, a 2020 Falls Sacred Heart alum and a champion.
That's going to be really interesting to see how a former player, a former champion of Coach Goltz is going to try to attack and get into his head there. You want to feel like, has the, grasshopper taken over the master here? I don't know. We're going to find out.
It's a young coach against a coach that's been around for quite a bit. Let's talk about a couple of players to watch in this one, our key players segment on our pregame show. We'll start with Falls City Sacred Heart. Colt Taft, very good. He's got consistent shooting for him. He's got size, 16.2 points per game.
Yeah, and Coach Gold said it, that this is the most improved player from last year, this year, sophomore to junior year. Phenomenal score, averaging almost 17 points per game. He doesn't rely on just one thing. You mentioned the jump shot. He can also finish at the rim.
And for HTRS, Brogan Dunlap's been big for the Titans this season. 8 points in their semifinal against Diller Odell, but he also had a handful of rebounds, so he's always a double-double threat.
He's got great versatility. He's listed as a guard, but he can slide in and play that 4 spot, wing spot. As you mentioned, he can get down there, box out, big body, 6 foot. He can do more than just score and run the offense from the point guard position.
It's going to be a great night here at the auditorium. Boys B division game coming up. We expect a full house, and we've got a great one for our main event later between Freeman and Johnson Brock.
Need relief from pain or support for recovery? Don't just see anyone, see the trainer. From bracing to home health and rehab products, they provide the right solutions to keep you moving. Whether it's a chronic condition or sudden injury, their expert team will help you find the perfect fit. With a wide range of in-stock orthopedic, sports medicine, or rehabilitation products, See the Trainer is dedicated to improving your quality of life. Visit the professionals at See the Trainer in Columbus, Lincoln, Omaha, Bellevue, and North Platte.
The pregame show is brought to you by Custom Sports. Check them out at CustomSportsCO.com and by Johnson County Central Public School.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do, just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
We got your back.
Teammates Mentor proudly serves 10,000 students in 192 chapters across Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota, and Wyoming. But we need your help.
We're recruiting Teammates Mentors to help our students reach their full potential.
Meeting with a student once a week can make a positive impact in their life, and create a ripple effect in our communities.
Go to teammates.org to learn how you can get involved. Join the team, be a mentor.
The 96th edition of the Mudecas Basketball Tournament on News Channel Nebraska, brought to you in part by Teammates Mentoring. Join the team, be a mentor, as well as Milligan Insurance Agency. Andy, let's talk a little bit about these two teams, specifically the schools in our School Spotlight segment, brought to you in part by Currency. Falls City Sacred Heart, 616 the population. They are in Richardson County. They are the Irish. And we'll take a look now at HTRS, made up by Humboldt, Table Rock, and Steiner. They are the Titans, 67-35 boys, 25 girls, making up their enrollment. Andy, final thoughts before we get this one underway.
Well, you just got to like the upstart team of HTRS, their turnaround from last year to this year. Are they ready for this stage? If you're ever going to make a run at Falls City Sacred Heart, this appears to be the season where they are sitting at 4-6, where usually, they're sitting at like 10-1, 11-1, 8-2, something like that. That's not been the case thus far for this Falls City Sacred Heart team.
Our pregame show brought to you in part by Johnson County Central Public Schools and Custom Sports. From screen printed t-shirts to sublimated jerseys, they have what your team needs. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for this one. We got both of the teams introducing their non-starters. And there we go. Now we've got to look at Falls City Sacred Heart. Our starting lineup's brought to you in part by Medica. Cole Taft, a junior at 5'11". Bo Fletcher, a sophomore at 6 foot. Brenton Lemerond, a 6 foot sophomore. Tate Wilcox, a senior. And Cooper Kanabi, a young team as Kanabi, a junior. Only one senior in the lineup for Falls City Sacred Heart.
Yeah, so usually they're got a pretty good bevy of seniors down there in Falls City. Not necessarily the case this year, so they're trying to fill some big voids with some underclassmen. You see a few sophomores there across the roster and in that starting lineup.
We'll flip sides, take a look at the starting lineup for HTRS, the 3 seed who is 8-4 on the year. Head coach Jamie Stice, a 2020 grad of Falls City Sacred Heart. Brogan Dunlap, we talked about him in our opening segment. He's a 6 foot senior. Brendan Vaughn, a 6 foot senior who will play small forward. Camion Denton, he is a sophomore at 5'8". Emmett Glothar, a post, 6'2", a junior. Hunter Bowling, the 6 foot senior. 11 points led all scorers for HTRS in their semifinal win over Diller Odell. Andy, final keys before we get this one underway.
Well, I just feel the first 3 or 4 minutes are going to be big for HTRS, setting the tone, not allowing Falls City Sacred Heart to get into a rhythm offensively, because once they do that with their shooters, the way they try to penetrate inside and kick out, if you let them heat up, knock down a couple of threes and get on top of you, it's very tough to dig yourself out of that hole. The Titans got to be able to run with the Irish early on here tonight.
We're getting ready to go. You see the teams getting introduced. Here's a look at Sacred Heart. This place is filling up. Looking at the Mudecas history for these two teams, Falls City Sacred Heart has 5 championships, all of them in the A division, 2001, 2003 and 4, 2018 and 2020. HTRS has 2, if you count it. They came both as Steiner in 1962 and in 1963. The Titans, again, 3-19 a year ago, all the way to 8-4, and a chance at a Mudecas championship, their first since the 1960s. The ceremonial handshake every single year before the A Division and B Division championships. A meeting just past center court as we get ready to go. Once again, Dunlap, Vaughn, Detman, Glothar, Bowen, Bowling for HTRS, Taft, Fletcher, Lemeron, Wilcox, and Kanabi for Falls City Sacred Heart. Be back in 30 seconds for tip-off. Couple of turnovers as we get our boys B Division final underway. Baseline drive for Lemerond. He kicks it back out, and he'll pull up from just inside the arc. Doesn't get the roll, but the rebound tracked down in the corner by Fletcher, and walking out of the three was Cole Taft, and he travels.
Yeah, the zone defense is causing a little bit of a problem here for Fall City Sacred Heart. The Titans doing a really nice job not allowing them to get a good look, an open look. The only problem, the issue is the rebounding. Fall City Sacred Heart has been able to pull in a couple offensive boards.
Cammy and Detman drop one to Dunlap, who drove to the left block, couldn't finish at the rim. The ball brought up the floor by Lemonron for Fall City Sacred Heart. From the free throw line, a bounce down to the baseline. Pass got picked off. Tade Wilcox was looking for Fletcher. That's a third turnover in the early goings here for the Irish. They average 14 turnovers per game, and it's been a large reason why they've struggled more than people are used to, 4-6 on the season, but they found their way into the Mudecas Championship. We've got our first substitution. Toby Baxter, the 5'11 sophomore, checks in for Fall City Sacred Heart as he takes out senior Tate Wilcox.
Yeah, Fall City during that technical difficulty had a fast break opportunity, but lost it trying to advance it up through a pass. And head coach Doug Goltz just said, hey guys, and just put his hands down saying, slow it down, slow it down.
Off the missed triple by Dunlap, a putback and a chance at a three-point play for Emmett Glothar. He'll go to the line here. The foul against Fall City Sacred Heart. And that'll send him to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Free throw on its way, no good, but an offensive rebound, the putback no good by Glothar, who grabbed his own rebound. And here come the Titans up the floor defensively. From the left corner, a three, too strong. That one out of the hands of Cole Taft. An offensive rebound keeps the possession with the Irish. Fall City Sacred Heart averages 6 offensive rebounds per game. They have 3 already in the first 4 minutes.
Right. Well, and you can see that HTRS, nice drive down the left side there. Already switched up their defense, is moving into a man-to-man, maybe to try and shore up some of those rebounding issues they're having early on.
And the foul is charged to HTRS. It's Dunlap with his first. And it sends Taft to the free throw line. 66% free throw shooter, misses his third of the night. He's 0 for 3 during those technical difficulties. He went to the line for 2, missed both off the back iron as he sets his feet and gets ready for his second attempt. He's 0 for 4, misses them both once again. Dunlap brings the basketball up the floor. Goes over to his left. And is able to find Vaughn. Vaughn drops one inside, but it's picked off. It's Kanabi with the takeaway for Sacred Heart. 3 turnovers aside here early as we're halfway through the first quarter. HTRS, 3-19 a year ago. They're up 4-0 in this one. And 8-4 on the season. They'll go to the free throw line here as Cole Taft gets a foul across the baseline.
Yeah, leading scorer Taft for the Irish doing a really nice job putting Manners into his own hands there with the dribble drive, getting to the line, but man, they cannot hit free throws here early on.
Poor start at the line for the Irish, 0 of 5. Shoot the free throw 58% on the season, but that one falls for Taft to get the Irish on the board. As it's 4-1 HTRS. Humboldt, Table Rock, Steiner makes up the towns of HTRS. All of those towns, a variation of miles east of the auditorium here. Out of the corner and driving is Detman. He goes back to the top of the key, and Vaughn accelerates in the lane.
Whoa.
Goes up with it and draws a lot of contact and a hard foul.
Yeah, went right into a triple team, and that's where I think the Irish, if they just play that straight up. But yeah, a lot of contact. I think that was a pretty good whistle by the officials.
First free throw on its way, and that went up and good by Brennan Vaughn. Vaughn up to 3 points in the ball game. 5-1 in favor of HTRS here in the first.
Look, the young head coach, Jamie Stice, former player for Doug Goltz, as we mentioned during the pregame.
And nephew.
A couple ties here.
That's what makes this tournament great. You see that stuff pop up year in and year out. To his left, Lemonron with it. Brennan Lemonron goes to the free throw line. Jump shot by Toby Baxter. A sophomore off the bench, doesn't fall. And here comes HTRS in transition. 6-1 the lead for the Titans. It's a tie of their largest in the ball game, and this one's thrown away. Dunlap not in sync with the intended target near the sideline, and the giveaway becomes the fourth turnover of the game for the Titans. Our first quarter brought to you in part by John Henry's Our Family, serving yours. 2:54 to go here in the first, 6-1. HTRS with the advantage. They beat Diller Odell 40-33, who won the B Division third place game earlier today. Airball three-pointer by Lemonron, and it's put back up and in by Tate Wilcox. I think Lemonron will call that one a pass.
Yeah, we'll be gracious here. We'll give him the assist there to Bo Fletcher. Good read by Fletcher, no doubt.
Top of the key with the basketball. HTRS works it inside. The drive, the put up by Bowling, that one no good. And Dunlap chases it out of bounds, and turnover number 5 for the Titans here.
Yeah, that's really been the Achilles heels of the Titans early on here, is them hurting themselves with turnovers.
Last year, the Titans fell in round 1 to BDS 47-46. They went 0-2 back in 2023. Losses to BDS and Lewiston, as we got a foul underneath here as Baxter went up with it. And the foul on Cooper Kanabi. Check that. Justin Cook, the foul for HTRS, who picks up his first. Baxter's free throw, short. And again, free throw shooting, causing some problems right now for Falls City Sacred Heart.
Really is, not being able to score from the foul line. And they've been able to get the ball inside, even though it hasn't been real clean or crisp type of passes, getting it down there. But you'd think the Titans of HTRS would really like to take that away and not allow that ball to find its way down to the lane.
Baxter converts the second, his first point of the night. 6-4, HTRS with the advantage. The right wing, Glothar, 6'2" post, tried to post up against Wilcox, but he hands it off, and Bowling uses the glass for 2.
Really nice looking drive there, kind of some lateral movement to it, really nice touch off the glass.
Trying to do the same thing on the other end. Driving to the rack was Wilcox. Second effort didn't fall either for Falls City Sacred Heart. And some missed opportunities for Falls City here early.
Yeah, bunny shots, free throws, they're starting to add up.
Stepping out of the 3 was Vaughn. He dished it down inside. Cook couldn't finish. And a rebound tracked down near the corner by Baxter. And he's going to pull up inside the arc. Baxter misses short. And Bowling comes down with the rebound for HTRS. Vaughn shut off as he tried to drive to the block. Darius Bowling with it now. Goes inside, Glothar, tough angle shot, but he gets it to fall. Wilcox, losing his footing defensively, opened just enough of a window.
Well, you said it, that was a very difficult shot, but Glothar fired up after that hit.
Looking to answer with a three-pointer was Taft. He was unable to do so, but another early offensive rebound here for Sacred Heart. Final 12 seconds of the opening quarter, 10-4, Titans with the lead. HTRS has led from the get-go. Driving in is Lemerond, and Lemerond goes up with it, but but they say he knocked it out of bounds off himself. Turnover for the Irish, and quite enough time, you'd think, if you can get something up the floor quickly here for the Titans to get a late bucket.
Oh, you're exactly right. Plenty of time, and you also have some substitutions coming in.
Here's a long heave down floor off the inbound. Didn't miss by much, but that comes to the end of the first quarter. 10-4 HTRS from 3-19 a year ago. Looking for their first Mudecas title since the 1960s. They're off to a good start.
This broadcast is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Southeast Community College. Head to southeast.edu and discover your path to possible. NCN Sports is brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. By Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy. This broadcast is brought to you by Western Oil. Make your first and last stop to and from the game at your nearest Speedy Mart or good-to-go convenience stores today. See the trainer. Need relief from pain or support for recovery? Don't see just anyone. See the trainer. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
The 96th Mudecas Basketball Tournament on News Channel Nebraska, brought to you in part by Norder Supply, your full-service agronomy specialist, Ranke Manufacturing in Deschler, and Downtown Family Vision in Wilbur. First 8 minutes in the books, second 8 minutes in the second quarter underway. Andy Klassen, good start for HTRS. You can't ask for more than a 6-point lead. I guess you can, but with all the opportunities Fall City Sacred Heart has had on the offensive end, you'll take a 6-point lead.
You'll take the 6-point lead with all the breakdowns they had, with a few turnovers, and then just bad passes like you saw right there.
6th turnover of the ball game, but still a 6-point lead for the Titans.
So you got to be happy with the lead and being able to overcome some of those efficiencies you had throughout that first period.
Fletcher bounces one to his left. Toby Baxter, 2 points, 3 rebounds per game off the bench. This is Taft, who pulls up from 3. Good defense prevents the make, but the offensive rebound by Baxter, and a whistle and a travel as Fletcher went up with it for a 5th Irish turnover here in the first half.
Yeah, the Irish, they look young, and in a couple of spots they're playing a little young right now, and the Titans just look a little older, but they're still turning the rock over as well.
Dunlap bounces it back to the top of the key, and stepping in front of the passing lane is Fletcher. We've got a tie-up over and back, and it'll go over to the Irish.
Yeah, that's where Detman needs to know where he is on the court, or Vaughn dribbling back and forth over that half-court line.
Off the inbound. Pull up from the right wing by Lemeron, no good. Nearly another offensive rebound, which Sacred Heart has done a nice job of here early, grabbing those boards on the offensive end.
Capital E for effort, right?
Dunlap bounces one down inside. Bowling unable to handle the pass, but Sacred Heart knocks it out of bounds. 19 seconds on the shot clock, and it'll stay with the Titans.
It just feels, so out of sync. Multiple defenders getting their hands in on the ball, the passing not that crisp.
Hesitating on the 3 was Detman. He missed it. Good look. Just hesitated for a half a second. Might have thrown off his rhythm. Lemeron bounces one left to Taft. Taft guarded by Hunter Bowling. Baxter goes to his left. And Lemeron drives to Baxter. Back out to Fletcher. Great defensive possession here for the Titans. Baxter near the block, kicks it back out, and Taft misses the 3, and the Titans get the rebound and get it across half court for the clear.
Excellent decision, kicking it back out. Toby Baxter, they got a very good look from beyond the arc, just unable to connect.
Detman to his right, and a drop pass inside. Bowling goes up with it, unable to finish, and the rebound by Fletcher.
And Falls City Sacred Heart has numbers if they want them.
That is a tough shot. We saw Glothor knock one down similar to that. That is a really tough angle, Jake.
LeBaron goes to the top of the key and swings one left to Taft. Bounce pass inside. Taft left it short. He has not had the touch we're used to seeing him have. 16 points, a shooter of 38% on the season. He hasn't made one yet.
And I can't really decide, this style of play, a little discombobulated, who it favors more, the young Irish of Sacred Heart, Falls City, or does it help out humble Table Rock, Steiner? I don't know. They're just kind of trading the ball back and forth.
Nearly halfway through the second quarter, and we still are without a bucket, as that one left short on the fadeaway by Glothar. Looking to change that here. There's our first bucket of the third and our first three of the night, knocked down by Bo Fletcher.
Yeah, the Irish have been doing a really nice job sharing the ball, finding a really good shooter at the top of the key, finally knocking one down.
Fletcher becomes the leading scorer with that triple. 5 points in the ball game for him. And the ball was knocked out of bounds. It'll stay here with HTRS. Inbound by Detman. Found Bowling open, who dribbles to his right. Nifty ball handling. He kicks it back out. And Vaughn drives in, and he traveled.
Yep. And even that kick out pass, Jake, it wasn't right where the ball needed to be as far as finding the shooter in that triple threat position. He had to move to the right, bend over a little bit. If he would have caught that where he needed, he would have had more decisions at his disposal.
A double dribble for Falls City Sacred Heart as Taft brought it across half court. 3:57 to go until halftime. Our second quarter brought to you in part by Steve Carper and the crew at O Street Carpet. Inbound from the HTRS. Bowling kicks it into play. Dunlap gives it back, and Bowling brings it up the floor. Dunlap looking for his first points of the night. Won't find it as he leaves the three-pointer short. And Cook on the ground, a tie-up with Tate Wilcox, and the jump ball will favor Sacred Heart.
Yeah, good on Wilcox and Cook, both hitting the deck, tied up. Obvious jump ball.
A couple of subs coming in for the Titans. Emmett Glothar, starting post, makes his way back in. Darius Bowling, the sophomore guard, entering once again as well. Lemeron kicks left. Three ball up and good. Hayden Kalau with the basket from the left wing. First triple of the night for Falls City Sacred Heart. They're 2 of 3 from deep.
Instant offense, checks into the game, makes an impact early.
Pass left, off the window, the putback. Jonathan Cook. That might be the first time tonight, Andy, we've had back-to-back buckets per possession.
Yeah, good answer there from the Titans. Cook with a little hang time, the double clutch from the left side.
Here's a three from the corner. Fletcher trying to go back-to-back for Sacred Heart. That one off the mark. But a steal here as Fletcher picked the pocket of the Titan, bringing it up the floor and takes it up and in for transition 2.
Humboldt, Table Rock, Steiner really needs to focus on taking care of the basketball.
That's their 10th turnover of the first half. Pass too tall, make it 11 turnovers. Dunlap couldn't haul in the high pass. And we are tied at 12 and a timeout called by Jamie Stice. 2:38 to go until halftime. We'll keep it here. Andy Klassen, your overall impressions here. The first quarter really belonged to HTRS. Now you're starting to see some offense. The three-pointers are falling for Falls City Sacred Heart. And look at the scoreboard, we're tied.
Well, there's a number of things that just weren't adding up for the Irish, causing turnovers, turning over the Titans, getting the extra possessions, whether it's through stealing the ball or getting those offensive rebounds, and they just weren't converting. Now they are converting those turnovers, those offensive rebounds into points, tying things up here at 12-all.
Bo Fletcher leads all scorers with 7 points, 3 for Hayden Kalau, and then 1 point apiece for Taft and Toby Baxter for Falls City Sacred Heart. 4 points apiece for Vaughn and Galathar for HTRS, 2 each for Bowling, and Jonathan Cook off the bench with their only bucket of the second quarter.
And there's even a style in the offensive scoring where the Irish are taking set jump shots with some space. They're giving shooters some space to work with. On the other side, the Titans are taking really difficult shots, aren't they? Off the dribble, a lot of times off the baseline to the side. Those are really difficult shots to knock down. And thus far, it's worked out okay. But you just feel like if you're a Titan fan, man, we should be up. We shouldn't be tied right now.
Tate Wilcox knocks the ball free as he dribbled it off his knee, and then back the other way, HTRS went up with it, but a foul here against Toby Baxter for the Irish, his first.
Yeah, Toby Baxter's done a really nice job working the boards, getting involved in the offense, early bucket. But what I really like is how the offense will go through him and he'll kick out and he'll find those shooters. There he is again, working hard.
Middle of the lane, Glothar put one up off the window. We had a foul on the rebound as well.
So Toby Baxter's not the tallest guy out there, right? He probably can't jump as high as some of the other guys, but he gets position, he box out, plays with great fundamentals. That's how he drew that foul, and he tallied another rebound, leading all rebounders with 4 here tonight.
Braden Bowen, the freshman, with his first foul. Big sweep with the basketball by Lemerond. Cloud drops it to the corner. 3-ball. Fletcher makes his second of the night. He's got 10 points here in the first half.
See, that's what I'm talking about, crisp passing. That found Fletcher right in that triple threat position. He was able to elevate right off the pass into his shooting motion, drains it.
It's the first lead of the night for Sacred Heart, and they nearly had the steal as well with transition. And a travel and a turnover for HTRS. What was once a 6-point lead has turned in to a 3-point deficit for the Titans. You gotta point to Andy Klassen, 13 first half turnovers.
Yeah, that's been the biggest storyline thus far.
Approaching 90 seconds to go, first half. Fletcher looking for a 4th triple. This one airballed it. You can't fault him for shooting it because it's been red hot to start the game.
And it was a good look. You found a shooter once again with plenty of space to work with. Defense was late getting over and covering.
HTRS knocked it out of bounds, trying to track it down. The inbound here by Lemerond finds Fletcher, averages 12.2 points per game. He goes right side. This one off the mark. Offensive rebound, put back. That'll be short by Wilcox, and a little trouble for Dunlap underneath the basket as he kicks it up the floor.
Seen right there. That was another opportunity that the Irish didn't capitalize on that the Titans got to feel pretty good about. They didn't have to pay for giving up another offensive board.
Brogan Dunlap with the basketball. Across the baseline, tough shot, a lot of contact, but the offensive rebound and the putback falls for Glothar. The 6'2" junior post, 6 points in this first half, and it's back to a 1-point game with Sacred Heart in the lead. Wilcox dropped one down inside. Kickball here against Glothar, who is defending under the rim.
Yeah.
A couple of substitutions as we'll see Cole Taft, who is our key player in the pregame, check back in. Good defensive play there. It's the right idea.
Really was. Glothar has been very active. You saw him on the offensive end, take that momentum, make a play on the defensive end. Big kid, big frame.
Back to the top of the key, Kalau with the basketball. Goes left side, 3-ball. Lemerond, before he could pull the trigger, he traveled. I actually think he changed his mind and was going to drive. He saw the open space, but another turnover here. That's now 21 combined in the first half.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He thought he saw something open up, and then he thought, nah, I think I'm going to drive on the right side. That hesitation, shuffled the feet. Good call by the official.
Brendan Vaughn dribbles to his right. Hands off to Dunlap, who goes back to the top of the key. Kemion Detman. 10 seconds to go in the first half. Final possession of the opening 16 minutes. Step back three. Glothar left it short. The rebound picked up by Wilcox. He'll just dribble it out and let the first half clock drain to 0. 16 minutes in the books. We talked about it, Andy. The first quarter was all HTRS. The second quarter, you saw Fall City Sacred Heart begin to find their rhythm.
You really did. Offensively, they found some shooters in space, and the passing was right where it needed to be, and the Irish took advantage, started knocking down shots there in that second quarter.
Bo Fletcher with 10 points for the Irish to lead all scores and help them to a 1-point lead at the break. Stick around. Coming up, our Visit Kearney halftime show. Find it all in the central Nebraska town of Kearney.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The yellow jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people that we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
Anything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Well, there's a look at us right here at the stage.
There we are.
You're across from us, right above the bleachers that are all on one side of the facility here at the Municipal Auditorium. Andy Klassen, your thoughts on the first half? 1-point lead, 15-14 in favor of the Irish.
Yeah, it was just a herky-jerky, kind of a sloppy performance there from the Titans. I think they had some opportunities to really build on that lead in the first quarter. They were unable to do so. Good on Sacred Heart, hanging in there, keeping the game close within 6 points, a couple of shots, and then those shots started to fall throughout that second quarter, and the Irish was able to take advantage and take a slim lead into the halftime break.
Bo Fletcher leading all scorers with 10 points. He's found a rhythm. He's found a nice stroke from three. He's 2 of 4 from downtown. He's been a good piece here for the Irish and crucial to that second quarter.
Yeah, when he started heating up, where he was knocking down jump shots from beyond the arc or just inside 15-footer, that was exactly what the Irish needed on the offensive end to get that comeback kind of kick-started and moving along.
I think you have to point to the turnovers as a major theme here early. HTRS was better about it in the second quarter, but 13 turnovers for them, 8 for Fall City Sacred Heart. You know, the Irish average 14, so they're not that far beyond their clip for the season, but neither coach Doug Goltz or Jamie Stice, family affair there, has to be too happy with that.
Yeah, both coaching staffs got to be pulling their hair out, thinking, what are we doing, giving away possessions like that? I think there was about a 4-minute stretch there where it was just turnover after turnover after turnover, and both squads are just kind of giving the ball back and forth between each other and not even generating a good look on the offensive end. It's hard to score points when you're not even taking a good-looking shot.
15-14 the score at the break. When we come back, we'll give you full stats from the first half. We'll also tell you everything you need to know about the new Kearney Sportsplex, the massive new sports facility coming this spring.
Zollner Ford in Beatrice has options to make the process of buying or maintaining vehicles easy and enjoyable. If you have your sights on a new vehicle, a member of our sales team would love to show it to you in the warmth of our showroom or bring it right to your driveway. For maintenance, we offer a few options to make service appointments convenient, like free pickup and delivery within 25 miles of Beatrice, including all of Lincoln. We can also come to you with our mobile service unit to help quickly get going again. Zollner Ford in Beatrice. Sales and service with a smile.
15-14 the lead, Fall City Sacred Heart with the slimmest of advantages here at the half. We're going to tell you how we got there with our stats and our halftime highlights, which are brought to you in part by Sartor Heyman Jewelers and Vitosh Ag Services. Once again, this is the #1 seed in the boys B division against the #3 seed HTRS. Nice drive to the rack here. Hunter Bowling with the first bucket of the ball game. Just a nice take across the baseline, Andy Klassen.
Yeah, it really was, and I think if you're one of those fans of that team, you want to see more of that.
Bowling with 4 points in the ball game. There's a shot up and good by Emmett Glother, who's the leading scorer right now, tied with Bowling for HTRS. We talked about Bo Fletcher really being the offensive spark for the Irish in the second quarter.
Really started to find his range, and when he was able to shoot up or step up and take time with that jumper, he was able to knock him down like you saw Clow do right there.
That's a nice shot. He was ice cold. That was his first touch of the night. Baseline drive here for an easy 2 points. Jonathan Cook also on his first touch off the bench for Jamie Stice. He found the bottom of the rim. Bo Fletcher also doing a defensive lead, defense into offense, the steal, the 2 points, and that gave the Irish their first lead.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the key for the Titans to turn this thing around, is tighten up their passing.
And Fletcher again from the corner for 3 late in that first half. 10 points for Bo Fletcher to lead all scores at the break. A look at our full stats. HTRS 0 of 4 from long range. They've got 13 costly turnovers, 2 of 3 at the line. It's been a struggle at the free throw line for Fall City Sacred Heart. They're just 2 of 8, 3 of 6 from downtown in the first half. Couple more minutes till we get back underway for the second half, but we want to tell you about the Kearney Sportsplex, a very cool deal coming to central Nebraska. It's owned by the city of Kearney. It's set to open this spring. 4 pickleball courts, that's 9,000 square feet, a 300-meter track, spectator seating, and that's really only a third of what that great facility is going to bring.
I got to tell you something here. I just found this out. You know, this is a brand new court we're looking at here.
Yes, it is.
The reason, or one of the catalysts why they decided to put a new wood court in here, was the old one started playing a lot of pickleball on it. They pulled that tape up and it damaged.
Oh, no.
So you got to be careful. If you're going to be putting that tape down for the new pickleball, you got to be careful what type of tape you use, how you pull it up. So, you know, just a fair warning out to the Kearney Sportsplex and the folks that are going to manage the courts out there.
Interesting. Well, it also is very centrally located, easy to find, right off of I-80, and it is going to be a premier, excellent facility coming to Kearney. When we come back, it's time for the second half. 1 point lead for the Irish, the top seed in the boys B division, leading the 3 seed of HTRS 15-14.
This broadcast is brought to you by Beatrice Movies, located on Court Street in Beatrice, Carlson Irrigation, your Rinky dealer in Shickley, and by Community Insurance Group in Tecumseh, Sterling, Humboldt, and Pawnee City. This broadcast is brought to you by Landmark Implement, with 16 locations throughout Nebraska and Kansas, and by Premier GMC. We are professional grade.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
The halftime show is brought to you by Visit Kearney. Find it all in Kearney. And by Maximum Landscaping and Design in Sterling.
Kearney, Nebraska is the getaway you never knew you needed. With comfortable, premium lodging, eclectic shopping, and a variety of locally owned craft food and drink options, Kearney has something for everyone. By day, you'll find rich history, outdoor adventure, and some of America's most unique attractions. And by night, our many entertainment options, dazzling performances, and unique hangouts offer the perfect way to unwind. Visit Kearney. It's so much more than just in the middle.
Presenting sponsors for the 96th Mudecas basketball tournament on NCN include Dio Technologies, your local technology experts, and Western United Mutual Insurance home office in Wilbur. Empty possession for HTRS in their first go of it in the second half. Here's a jump shot for Kanabi, the junior post who did not play much, Andy Klassen, in that first half, and he picks up a foul right here. That is his third, and I was just going to say the reason he didn't play much, he had 2 in the first 5 minutes of the game. Now he's got 3.
I think it's
26 seconds into the second half.
Coming right back out in that foul trouble. But that was, once again, inside out, collapses the defense. That was a really good look, 15-foot jump shot for the Irish on their opening possession, and then it's just old hat Titans turn it over on their first possession.
Lothar with 4 points in the first half, lost his footing, rolled one to Brogan Dunlap, who throws one up, tough angle shot, caught a piece of the backboard, and with a full head of steam, Lemeron slams on the brakes, the left wing, as Fall City sets up the offense. Stepping back, thought about the 3, did Fletcher. Tate Wilcox exchanges with Lemeron. And stepping in front of a handoff pass was Detman, but he stepped on the sideline. Self-inflicted wounds been the storyline for HTRS in this one.
One of the very first possessions, the Titans did that. Now for the second time, they can't locate that sideline, which I get it, it's a little deceiving. You think you have more court to work with over there, but you really don't.
In the corner, the 3 by Taft. That one off the back iron, no good. And the rebound tracked down and picked up by Detman. Detman to Brogan Dunlap, who is scoreless in the ball game right now. Had that big game, a lot of points, a lot of rebounds, a lot of assists. 8 points and a handful of the others in that semifinal, and a deflection out of bounds will stay with HTRS. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Dunlap to the extended block. Bowling dropped one inside, and a foul here against Toby Baxter. He picks up his second.
Baxter with his palms up. He can't believe it. Good on the Titans trying to work that baseline, open things up.
See what they draw up here on the inbound. They go inside to Dunlap. Looked like he wanted to go back to Bowling, but he takes it himself and can't find the roll. The ball brought up the floor here by the Irish. Intercepted underneath the basket. Glothar takes away the pass of Taft. And up the floor. A stoppage as well to go back to HTRS.
Just feels like these turnovers are contagious, right? Sacred Heart on the fast break gives you a gift, passes it directly to your man. You try to work it back up, you know, get it to your outlet, who loses it on the sideline. Just back and forth we go here once again.
Lemerod to his right to Taft, and the ball knocked out of bounds here by Dunlap. And he goes into the stairwell, which, if the ball drops down that way, it's a long way to that basement. Usually you have about a 30-second stoppage to retrieve the basketball. People that have played in Mudecas know that.
Great hustle by Dunlap, though, jumping that passing lane and batting it away.
And he saved the basketball from going down to the basement.
That was good, too. Save that delay a game.
Our third quarter brought to you in part by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of your pain, not just the symptoms. Fletcher dribbles to his left to the corner, and the interception by Bowling, but he runs out of bounds with it. Couldn't stop his momentum. And 10 seconds on the clock here. for Fall City Sacred Heart to try and get something to fall. Still looking for our first bucket of the second half. A little bit of a push off by Lemeron, no call. He gets the pass back, tries the three. Didn't miss it by much, and the rebound up top for HTRS. Brennan Vaughn with it as he dribbles to his left and flips it back up top to Dunlap. Dunlap down to Bowling. The reverse layup, no good. Offensive rebound, Glothar, and he can't find it. And a whistle and a jump ball, a lid on the rim, similar to the start of the second quarter here in the third.
Yeah, good on Hunter Bowling, though, sticking with it, causing that jump ball. But yeah, it seems to be a lid on the hoop right now for the Titans. A couple really good looks here. Nice offensive board from Glothar, the 6'2 junior.
HTRS averages and allows both 47 points per game. Fall City Sacred Heart almost dead even as well. 50 allowed, 49 points per for the Irish. So both teams, the point being, well below their usual standard of scoring.
There has been a couple just scoring droughts throughout just about each and every quarter.
They're going to catch a foul here on Brogan Dunlap. A little bit of a hold. He picks up his second. Our instant replay tonight brought to you in part by the Beatrice Community Hospital Health Center and Meade Lumber. And there you see the grab by Dunlap. The inbound. Back to Taft at the top of the key. 5 minutes to go in the third. He finds Lemerond, who's looking for his first points of the night. No good. Wilcox the rebound. And he's unable to find the bottom of the rim either.
Wilcox was left alone underneath. You had multiple Titans go to the other side.
A drive in the lane. That one hung on the back iron. Bowling unable to find the bucket either. It took to the 4-minute and 30-second mark in the second quarter for us to get our first bucket of that frame. Now gone again, once again, with our longest scoring drought for either side.
Oh, it's really been amazing. There's been some breakdowns defensively, really, on both sides, and neither has been able to capitalize.
Wilcox unable to capitalize there either. And up the floor, Bo Fletcher caught an elbow, shook his head, and slow to get back on defense. Looks like he's all right, but I'll have to say he's more than all right. He gets a pickpocket steal of Vaughn and lays it up and in. Hit in the face or not, he's going to play with his heart on his sleeve. Fletcher, the steal, the 2 points, and a chance at a three-point play.
Yeah, he overplayed on the steal attempt, was paid off, got it, and then the great job using his body to shield the ball away from the defender, drawing the foul, and one.
That is our first bucket of the third quarter. Fletcher up to 12 points on the night. He's met his season average in that category, and now the 52% free throw shooter, unable to sink. 2 for 10 at the line tonight is Fall City Sacred Heart. Dunlap misses for HTRS. And Fletcher, some problems bring it up the floor. Lemerond able to track it down. Back to the right with the basketball is Lemerond, and he goes over to Clow.
Sideline.
And Clow touched the sideline as well. Hit a three on his first touch of the ball game. Was likely trying to do the same thing there, but the shoe on the black stripe here at the auditorium. Great look at it there from our baseline camera.
Yeah, with those grandstands being back a little bit and the court also extending out, it's just a little bit of an optical illusion to a lot of these players, and we've seen that turnover a couple of times.
Off the hop pass, Brennan Vaughn exchanged with Glothar. He went up with it and drew a foul as well. The first of the ball game on Emmett Glothar. Here's another look at it.
Yep, got underneath of him.
And they do call that a shooting foul, so that sends Vaughn to the free throw line. 5 points in the semifinals yesterday against Diller Odell. This one up and good.
Gets the shooter's roll. Beginning to start to wonder, was there like saran wrap over that rim that I couldn't see? I mean, that ball was just not finding its way through the cylinder.
Second one on its way, and that's the first time tonight we've seen anybody go 2 for 2 at the line. Vaughn up to 4 points in the ball game. Udecus basketball brought to you in part by Tri-County Public School, Pinnacle Bank, member FDIC, Bruning Grain and Feed, and Mark Weirs with EMC Seed Services near Diller. Handoff right, Bowling with the basketball. Under 3 minutes to go in the third. We've only seen 4 points, 2 aside. And HTRS has yet to find a field goal in the frame. Driving and drawing a foul is Brennan Vaughn. Push off near the elbow on Taft. That's his second.
Yeah, that's really been how HTRS has been trying to generate their offense, trying to drive the ball down the lane, across the lane, that time picking up with a foul.
Defensive-minded Doug Goltz wanting to talk things over on this defensive possession for the Irish. He calls a timeout. 2:41 to go in the third. Still a 1-point advantage for Falls City Sacred Heart.
This broadcast is brought to you by Beatrice Movies, located on Court Street in Beatrice, Carlson Irrigation, your Rinky dealer in Shickley, and by Community Insurance Group in Tecumseh, Sterling, Humboldt, and Pawnee City. This broadcast is brought to you by Landmark Implement, with 16 locations throughout Nebraska and Kansas, and by Premier GMC. We are professional grade.
From the baseline, the inbound by Bowling as he goes to Darius Bowling. It was Hunter who kicked it into play. 1 point advantage. It's been that way the entire way through the third quarter for Falls City Sacred Heart. Here's Dunlap. Can't find a bucket if it were handed to him. He's not missed by much either,
No.
Andy Klassen.
That was a good look. Nice entry pass. Running that set play out of the timeout.
Cole Taft also struggling to score as well. Our two key players who average a combined 28 points per game only have one aside, and that one is from Taft at the free throw line. The putback up and good. Brody Taft with his first field goal. He's got 3 points in the ball game, and he pushes the lead up to 3 for the Irish.
Well, Baxter cleaning up his own mess there, and after the offensive board, gets the putback.
Third steal of the ball game for Fletcher. Was he able to get it up floor? I think he stepped out of bounds before he flipped it back into the court of play.
A heck of an effort. Some nifty dribbling there, trying to save the ball.
Averages 4.2 steals per game, so a great defensive player and just a sophomore as well. Driving to the lane and a block.
Wow.
Fletcher, speaking of his defense, a rejection on Vaughn, and back the other way come the Irish with a chance to match their largest lead of the game. In the corner, Fletcher.
Yep, right
Swing
on
arm
cue.
pass, he threw it way over the head of Lemerond. A mistake there, and turnover number 13 for Falls City Sacred Heart.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That one felt like they could maybe extend their lead just a little bit. Coming off a fabulous block, Fletcher underneath the rim.
A feed inside, Dunlap trying to find his first bucket. Won't happen here, but an offensive rebound for Glathar and a foul. He will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Glathar doing a really nice job crashing that offensive rebound.
A foul for Falls City Sacred Heart, charged to Lemerond. That's his first for the 6-foot sophomore, and the first free throw up and good for Glathar. The 96th Udecus basketball tournament is brought to you in part by Mingy Tree Service in Odell, First State Insurance and First State Bank, member FDIC, Schmidt Excavating out of Adams, Exeter Milligan Public Schools, and the Johnson County Hospital in Tecumseh. Second one on its way. Glathar goes 2 for 2. Good night at the free throw line for HTRS. They're 6 of 7, and they are in the double bonus here with 1 minute to go in the third, down by just 1. The C's part for Baxter.
Whoa.
Flying in for the rejection. Glothar, the 6'2 post, a big advantage over 5'10 Hayden Clow, but this one was nasty.
It really was, and he was able to take out two offensive players. Had to leave his man Baxter go work across the lane for that block.
Could hear the leather to palm there on the block by Glothar. The pass thrown backwards, and a reach in from behind here after the block. Bowling with the foul. And that is his first of the ball game. The inbounds here with 35 seconds, a fresh 35 on the shot clock. 15-second differential between game and shot for Sacred Heart. To the corner. And now across to Clow, looking for his second of the night. Yep. He's found his second of the night. Off the bench, he has 3 touches and 2 makes from downtown.
Yeah, the Titans just play such aggressive defense, got caught over-rotating just a little bit, and Clow was able to take full advantage. Plenty of room to work with. Open 3, nails it.
Less than a second differential between the shot and game clock for HTRS. They can probably hold for the final shot if they choose to do so. Glothar with 6 points in the ball game, finds the feed to Bowen down low. He can't finish. 3 seconds. 2. Half-court heave by Fletcher. Not there, but not off by much. 22-18. Falls City Sacred Heart with the lead. They outscore the Titans 7-4 in the third quarter in a defensive battle. Hayden Clow with a difference maker from downtown.
This broadcast is brought to you by Precision Seed and Chemical and Friend, Scooters Coffee in Beatrice, and by Twin Rivers in Fairbury and Beatrice, the high-volume, low-hassle place to buy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Speedy Mart. When you have to fuel your journey and feed the crew, whether it's many or a few, Speedy Mart is fresh, ready, super clean, and convenient.
Here, customers can expect the highest quality fuel that they deserve.
And when you make a pit stop, it's gotta be fast. Easy in, easy out. Speedy Mart for the win.
Well, there's a look at assistant coach Lucas Laughlin. As coming up after this one of the most anticipated games, I think, all year.
No doubt.
2 undefeated teams, 2 teams that are both ranked #1 in our News Channel Nebraska rankings, Freeman and Johnson Brock, but we've got a dandy to finish here. 4-point lead for the Irish of Falls City Sacred Heart, and an early foul here for the Irish on Clow, who picks up his first. HTRS a chance to make this a 1-score game in the early stages of the final frame. Dunlap, scoreless tonight, finds his way to the rack, and again he doesn't get the bounce off a nice take, and the Irish will bring it up the floor, look to extend their lead. A bucket would give them their largest lead of the ball game. Been a tightly contested battle at the auditorium. Deep 3 by Taft, that one well short, and a rebound picked up by Vaughn for HTRS. Floater in the lane, in and out, rebound loose, tapped back out, but right to Detman, and he brings it back to the top of the key and gives it over to Brogan Dunlap.
Like right there, how didn't that putback fall? I mean, it was over halfway down and somehow bounces out.
The lip outs, if golfers know, sometimes they come plentiful in a long round of golf. Now a foul here underneath, offensive foul against HTRS.
Yeah, well, no doubt, scoring's been hard to come by really for both squads. Nice job Bowling working through some traffic.
And that one was off ball against Bowen, who picks up his second. Down low at the right block, Baxter out to Clow, looking for the hat trick off the bench. Not off by much. Sacred Heart now 4 of 12 from downtown. They shoot the 3 just 26% this season. So a good night for them from long range. Another bunny miss, this time for Bowling.
on the Titans. Found the mismatch they were looking for. Bowling had him posted up. Beautiful over-the-top pass.
Clow has the ball picked free by Dunlap from behind. He lays it up, and he still is unable to find his first bucket of the night. It rims out, and Dunlap cannot believe it. We have a whistle after the play as well.
Glothar going over the back.
Sacred Heart. Yeah, Lemerond with the second.
Wow. Scoring's just been hard to come by. I mean, what else did he say?
Again, it's not as if this is a non-offensive team for HTRS. They average 47 points per game, which more often than not will get the job done as long as you play good defense, which they have. Clout wanted to pull the trigger. He's 2 of 5 from downtown. Back to the top of the key, it's Baxter and Lemerond. This time he will pull the trigger. Cloud too strong.
Yeah, good motion away from the basketball. Got the shot, one of the shots they were looking for. Good on HTRS. Underneath, boxing out, locating that rebound.
Vaughn gives it back to Bowling. Bowling went to Dunlap. There's his first point of the night. And every single take, Andy, has looked just like that.
Boy, that looked really pretty. Cutting down the center of the lane, landing it in.
22-20 the score. The pass the other way off the turnover by Sacred Heart. A whistle and a foul charge against the Titans. It's on Jonathan Cook on the drive. Check that, it was on Brogan Dunlap, who picks up his third.
I think that's Brennan Vaughn, right? Number 2.
Check that. Yes, it was Vaughn. My mistake. Referee flashed up Dunlap's number, which confused me here on our scores table.
Well, now Vaughn's got to be careful. That's his third.
Vaughn tonight, 4 points. A bucket in the first, a bucket in the third. Baxter to his right. Lemerond with a spin move. Can't find the open space to pull up from the wing. Single digits on the shot clock here for Sacred Heart. Fletcher to Taft. Gets blocked. The second rejection of the ball game for Glothar. And here come the Titans in transition.
Titans got to take care of the ball here. Able to turn over the Irish. Big time play.
Trouble handling the pass. Glothar chase it down in the corner. He'll take the corner 3. Off back iron, rebound loose. Glothar able to pick it up, stayed with his shot, goes up with it. And I don't know if we had a foul here, Andrew, if it was just out of bounds. I don't think there was a whistle. It'll stay with HTRS with 32 seconds on the shot clock. And now Doug Gold's going to look for some size. Cooper Kanabi is going to check back in.
Yeah, it's go time now. He was in foul trouble all night long. Now he's going to get in there and give him some of that size they've been looking for, maybe missing throughout just a little bit.
We do have a stoppage here. There you see Emmett Glothar heading to the sideline. Looks like he might have had a cut on his arm, so he'll, I believe, have to sub out unless the officials give a couple of minutes to, or a couple of seconds to HTRS, which they did, which is good, because he's been the best player, I think, in the second half.
Yeah, and he's really energized this team with his defensive plays.
Dunlap looking for his first triple of the game. That one way off the mark, caught a piece of the backboard. HTRS has not attempted many threes. They're 0 of 5 from long range.
Yeah, they really like to pound it inside, which does play to their strengths.
Under 4 minutes to go in this one. We're halfway through the fourth quarter. The first of our Mudecus Boys Championship doubleheader. This one for the B division, Johnson Brock, Freeman for the A division after this. And Kanabi, after checking in after a long sit due to foul trouble, has his first 2 of the night.
See, and there it is. That's what the Irish had been missing.
Pass left, Dunlap, turnaround shot, left that one short. Glothar swatting at it with Toby Baxter, knocked it off Baxter's hand, so HTRS with another chance here. Doug Goltz, as you can probably hear over our headsets here, emphatically shouting for a timeout to talk things over. We'll keep it here, Andy. 3:18 to go in this one. 24-20 the score. I don't want to ask you which direction you think this one's going, but who has the momentum right now?
Well, I just think the Irish have a little bit more consistency on the offensive end. I like their movement away from the basketball. They're not so one-dimensional, just, you know, relying on one play. And for the Titans, that's really been the dribble drive, just trying to work that ball inside. And unfortunately for HTRS, they've been unable to connect on too many of those 2-foot, 3-foot little jumpers. Bunny shots at the rim just have not been falling through the cylinder with the amount of consistency as you would expect.
Stick around for our post-game show on NCN. A lot of good stuff, and this one could go either way, but we'll talk to our player of the game and have our player of the game interview, which is brought to you in part by Roe Buick in Grand Island and Aurora, also by Nebraska Orthopedic Center. We'll have our coaches post-game interview, which is brought to you in part by Sarpy County Tourism. And of course, a look at the highlights in this one in our top plays, brought to you in part by Southeast Community College and Currency. And this one could go either way. You could be talking to Coach Stice, you could be talking to Doug Goltz, you could be talking to any number of players right now, because really nobody's pulled away in the scoring category.
No, they have not. You do got to tip your cap to the defensive efforts of both teams here.
Fletcher leads all scorers with 14, but Glothar's been really strong as well. 8 points, a slew of rebounds, and he adds 2 more right there to make it a one-score game.
Love that call from head coach Jamie Stice coming out of the break. Find your hot hand, your spark plug, Emmett Glothar.
Ball tracked down as it was loose in the corner by Kanabi. Hands it off to Fletcher, leading scorer with 14, pulls up, airballed it short on the fadeaway. And HTRS a chance to tie or take the lead. It's dribbled out of bounds. Last touch by Cole Taft, and the Irish. Taft is infatuated on the sideline. He can't believe it.
They're going to turn it over here. Good on the officials getting together, figuring that out.
And it is, Falls City Sacred Heart basketball. There you see it on the replay, very clear. I believe was last touched by Dunlap. So the Irish get a stop and force a 20th turnover for HTRS. Baxter, spin move away from Glothar. And a handoff to Fletcher. Fletcher drives in the lane, lost the handle, and it goes into the hands of Brendan Vaughn. Up the floor, Vaughn lays it up, couldn't find the bottom of the rim, and now contact in the corner. Dietman going for the steal, collides with Brendan Lemerond. And it's just really another case of a lid on the rim.
Just really been the story of the night for the Titans. Point blank, somehow these lanes just aren't going in.
Kanabi passes it left to Baxter. And Baxter to Lemerond, who will play point guard on this possession. Approaching 2 minutes to go in regulation time. Sacred Heart by 2. Baxter makes it Sacred Heart by 4.
The big fella. We've seen him knock down a couple of those nice little 15-foot, 14-foot jump shots.
5 points on the night for Baxter, averages just 2 per game. So he showed out here at the auditorium in the B Division Finals. 100 seconds to go. Dunlap forced to pass, finds Glothar in the corner. That one off the mark. The rebound tracked down by Vaughn underneath. Vaughn drives, he can't finish. The putback off the mark by Brendan Vaughn again. And now falling to the ground was Taft. It looked like a clear travel, but we play on. Baxter shut off at the block, and it's worked back to the top of the key to Brendan Lemerond.
Titans fall back into their man-to-man defense.
Cole Taft driving, missing, put back, up and good.
Good on Taft coming off that ball screen. Catches it in stride, sticks with it. The putback gets it to go.
Under a minute to go in regulation. possession time. Don't you dare go anywhere. A 6-point lead for Falls City Sacred Heart, but this one could be far from over. This is the B Division Championship. We're going to crown a champ, our first of the night after this.
Hi, I'm Baylor Shireman, proud to call Aurora, Nebraska home. From dreaming big in a small town to being drafted by the Boston Celtics, I've always aimed for the best. That's why I rely on Roe Buick in Grand Island and Roe Chevrolet in Aurora for my vehicles. When you're driven to succeed, you choose a winning team. Before you drive away in your next car, check with the team that knows how to win. Roe, it's the Roe you know.
Get to Roe.
Will those easy buckets begin to fall for HTRS? The answer is unknown, but they're going to have to. They're running out of time here, down by 6, less than a minute to go. Here's Dunlap. 3 off the mark. Bowling the rebound, a tie-up for it, and a kick ball will give it to the Irish.
Once again, great hustle there from the Titans. Scrum for the basketball.
Good defense, I believe. It was Baxter who got in there and knocked it away.
Yeah.
To force the jump ball. And
He's done a really nice job here tonight. Has Toby Baxter, kind of filling in for Kanabi, who got in some foul trouble.
And a bad turnover on the inbound. Doug Goltz was unhappy with that one. It's been a frustrating season for Falls City Sacred Heart. But they can get back to the ranks of a Mudecas championship, win their first ever in the B division. They're 5-time champions in A. Dunlap in and out on the 3-point attempt. The Titans 0 of 9 from downtown, and a foul up floor here.
Yeah, just too many stats like the one you just mentioned there that make it very difficult to try and win a basketball game, even against a struggling Sacred Heart team. You mentioned earlier how they're a couple games below 500.
Cross half court, Lemerond colliding with the scores table below us here was Kamian Dietman. And he picks up his first. Taft will kick it into play. Looks over the defense, finds an open man. Guess who? It's Fletcher and the foul. They'll catch Brennan Vaughn, and that might be the dagger.
Sophomore with a little bit of a flex there after the play, but smooth move to the hoop. Perfect pass. There's a little flex. He kind of smiles at himself.
It's been a great night for the sophomore Bo Fletcher. 6-foot sophomore, 14 points, free throw on its way, it's off the mark, no good.
Yeah, and when scoring was hard to come by, Bo Fletcher found a couple jump shots that provided that
shot off
separation and the comeback in that first quarter. It was his scoring that kind of got that going.
It did indeed. He's been awesome. I mean, I've been really impressed with him. Shot was off the mark by HTRS and a foul. So to officially ice this one, Tate Wilcox with a chance to make 2 free throws. I got to say, I think I've got a feeling who our player of the game might be.
Right.
Wilcox, 3 for 8, make it 3 for 9 on the year at the line. Has not been a good free throw shooting night for the Irish. They're just 2 of a dozen at the charity stripe, as Toby Baxter's played a great game as well. Another sophomore checks out of the ball game.
And a little frustration there from Wilcox. Unable to connect on that free throw.
Connor Nelson, a good free throw shooter for Doug Goltz, checks in. 11.5 seconds to go. Wilcox goes 1 of 2.
There it is.
First point of the night for Tate Wilcox. Final 10 seconds, 3 ball off the mark. Out of the hands of Glothar, and we'll have a whistle and a tie-up for it underneath the basket. Jump ball. And and this will go to HTRS here. They've got the possession arrow. This place is filling up for that A-Division final, Andy.
It's going to be a fun one.
The inbound to the corner, 3-ball, tipped on its way down by Bo Fletcher, and finding their way back to the ranks of the best in the Mudecas basketball tournament. Falls City Sacred Heart wins the boys B division after a struggle to start the season. They're just 4-6 entering the tournament, but they pick up a few crucial wins and take the B division. The final tonight, 31-22, the Irish knock off HTRS. Andy Klassen will meet with head coach Doug Goltz and our player of the game right after this. Well, there's a look at the champions of the boys B division. Falls City Sacred Heart wins their 6th Mudecas championship, their first in the B division, and their first since 2020. There's our tournament director handing it to the champions, who will celebrate a 5th win on the season, and a new plaque gonna go in the trophy case back in Falls City. Well, big congratulations to the Irish. Let's show you how we got to this 31-22 final as Falls City Sacred Heart celebrates another Mudecas championship. Top plays are brought to you in part by Southeast Community College. Head to southeast.edu now and discover your path to possible, as well as Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com. This was the #1 seed in the B division against #3. That's HTRS, the Irish, the top seed. A good look at a lot of people already in attendance here. Some of that blue and white from Freeman, which you'll see right after this. To open things up here in the first quarter, first bucket in the paint for either side, it was Hunter Bowling who drove in and scored it. He had 4 points in the ball game, all of his in the first half. Drop down pass inside, probably the best player on the floor tonight for HTRS, Emmett Lothar with a putback. He had 8 points. That was a team high in what was a low-scoring night for the Titans. First highlight of the ball game here for Sacred Heart. 3-ball, Hayden Clow off the bench. First touch of the game, and he knocks down the triple. 1 of 2 he would hit from long range on the night. Baseline drive here. Jonathan Cook also comes in cold. That was his first touch off the bench as well. The bench mob showing out for either side in the auditorium. Corner 3, Bo Fletcher. What a game he had. A bright spot for Doug Goltz in the future of the program. 14 points with 8 in that second quarter. We head to halftime and into the second half. 1 point lead for Falls City Sacred Heart. Took these two teams a while to find their rhythm in the third quarter, but the pickpocket steal, the lay-in, Bo Fletcher would go to the line for a 3-point play. Missed the free throw, however. Drop pass down low, Hayden Clow looking for his first points of the night from inside the arc, but he would not find it. Emmett Lothar with the rejection. That was 1 of 2 blocks for the 6'2 junior post on the evening. Cross-court pass, Clow off the bench, up for 3, down for 3, nothing but net. What a nice shot he has. He really doesn't try to touch much rim when he shoots from downtown. We head to the fourth quarter. 4-point lead for the Irish. Make it a 1-score game. Brogan Dunlap, we talked about him in our opening segment. That was his only bucket of the ball game. Didn't score until the fourth and had just 2 points. Something about sophomores, something about playing off the bench tonight. Toby Baxter, mid-range jump shot. He had a nice night offensively and defensively. 5 points, only averages 2 per game, and this was the dagger. Bo Fletcher up the floor, lays it up and in, draws the foul, and he would sink the free throw to put this one into the record books. For the 6th time in school history, Mudecas champions. Falls City Sacred Heart beats HTRS 31-22. Coming up, our coach's post-game interview, as well as our player of the game. Andy Klassen has it all right after this.
Teammates Mentor proudly serves 10,000 students in 192 chapters across Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota, and Wyoming. But we need your help.
We're recruiting Teammates Mentors to help our students reach their full potential.
Meeting with a student once a week can make a positive impact in their life. and create a ripple effect in our communities.
Go to teammates.org to learn how you can get involved. Join the team, be a mentor.
Shop Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram during the Start Something New sales event. Browse our full lineup of new Ram trucks, like the rugged and capable 2025 Ram 1500. And take advantage of our current offers happening now. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations in Blair or Bellevue today. Serving our customers since 1991. This is Woodhouse.
This broadcast is brought to you by Beatrice Movies, located on Court Street in Beatrice, Carlson Irrigation, your Rinky dealer in Shickley, and by Community Insurance Group in Tecumseh, Sterling, Humboldt, and Pawnee City. This broadcast is brought to you by Landmark Implement, with 16 locations throughout Nebraska and Kansas, and by Premier GMC. We are professional grade. This broadcast is brought to you by Precision Seed and Chemical and Friend, Scooters Coffee in Beatrice, and by Twin Rivers in Fairbury and Beatrice, the high-volume, low-hassle place to buy. This broadcast is brought to you by Sunland Seed, Mike Holtmeyer, your Pioneer Seed Wrap with Sunland Seed of Beatrice, and by Weekend Warrior Roofing in Shickley.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back. Sure.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding band, so we'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
Back in Beatrice, joined with head coach Doug Goltz. The Irish pull it off again. It was a grinder, but you guys are champions. What are your initial thoughts?
It was definitely a grinder. We struggled on offense the whole game, but I think our defense was tough. Bo did a great job helping off his man and got us a lot of steals, but definitely it was our defense today. Our offense was not very good.
When scoring is hard to come by, is that where defense really comes into play for you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when kids don't play well on defense, or on offense, they kind of drop their intensity. I thought our kids played defense the whole game, and that was the difference. If we wouldn't have played like that on the defensive end, we're not going to win scoring that few points.
At spots in the second quarter, throughout the second half, you did have streaks of good offense. What led to that? What came from that?
Well, part of it is HTRS is more athletic than us. We had a hard time ever really breaking down anybody one-on-one. So again, it was really tough to get anything going tonight.
When scoring was hard to come by, could you tell me about tonight's player of the game, Bo Fletcher? He kind of got things going offensively there in the first half when scoring really was difficult.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't scoring on the offensive end. It was more off of our defense, and Bo was a big part of that. He came up with quite a few steals. That was about all we were getting early. So, I got to credit Bo. He's got good quickness, good anticipation. He reads the defense really well.
And does a win like this kind of help your team's confidence moving forward? You didn't have your best game, but you still walked away victorious.
Yeah, we're still a work in progress. I mean, we graduated 3 seniors that led us in about everything. So Cole Taft and Brendan Lemeron, they were role players. Now they're really the leaders of our team. Bo and his family moved in this summer, so we've only played with Bo for a few months. And then Tate Wilcox, another starter, he missed all of last year with a football injury. So he's only really played 1 year of varsity basketball. So it's just still a kind of a work in progress, I think.
Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in our player of the game, Bo Fletcher. 14 huge points. Really got it going there in that first half when your team was having a difficult time scoring. What were you seeing out on the court that enabled you to do that?
I really saw that we couldn't score that well, and I wasn't getting points, and I
knew I had to get it to my hands and get some points on the board.
Your coach just mentioned HTRS, very tough physically, defensively. They can kick it up a notch. What are they doing to kind of aggravate you guys offensively?
Emmett Glothor, he's pretty big guy. They had some bigger size on us, and they're more athletic, and we had to know what we had to do to get it.
You guys kind of flipped the switch coming out of that first period into the second quarter and into the second half, really. What was the difference where you started finding that offensive rhythm?
I'm not really a good three-point shooter, but I found where I needed to be with it, and I just got to the basket and got some layups.
Now you guys win a game like this where you didn't maybe play your best game, especially offensively, but you still came home with the hardware. You guys are champions. What could this do for your guys' confidence moving forward?
I think it'll boost us really well to the next couple games, and we'll show it.
Heck yeah. Bo, thank you for your time. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.